A big slate of Sunday matchups to get into, including the Seahawks and the Bills at 1 Eastern. Russell Wilson has won his last 10 starts in the Eastern time zone, has thrown 22 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions in those games. So don't worry about him traveling across the country. While Wilson will look to continue his streak on the East Coast, Josh Allen struggled in recent weeks, throwing 0 touchdowns in his last 2 games. This after throwing 16 touchdowns in his first 6. But if there's any week to find his rhythm, Seattle may provide the best opportunity. The Seahawks allowing a league-high 461 yards per game, having allowed multiple touchdown passes in each of their last 3 games. Here's how our picks look. Everybody's on the Seahawks, so feeling pretty confident there. By the way, I'm also on the Seahawks. Just want to throw that in there. Mina, let's talk about Josh Allen in this one. And the Seahawks are getting some help defensively with Jamal Adams coming back. Carlos Dunlap should be in there. How important is Josh Allen in this game for the Bills?
Well, it's absolutely huge, Laura, because the Seahawks offense is going to score on that Bills defense, which has not been good. I'm not concerned about that. So Josh Allen's going to have to put in some work to keep up with Russell Wilson. And as you pointed out, he's had a rough October. I mean, like, we've all had a rough October, so no judgment, man. But his October has been particularly rough relative to what he did in September, especially throwing the ball downfield. First 4 weeks of the season on 15-yard-plus passes, Josh Allen was completing 78% of them. And we all said, oh, wow, his deep ball, it's amazing. Since week 5, that is down to 30%. Right. The Seahawks pass defense has been the weakness. I know they're getting Jamal Adams back, but they have given up a lot of big plays. The Bills aren't going to win this by slowly moving the ball like they did against the Patriots. They're going to have explosive pass plays to Stephon Diggs, because if they don't, they can't keep up with Russell Wilson.
Listen, I hear you about how important Josh Allen is. But if you ain't telling me that Steve Young walking on that field, the Bills ain't about to beat the Seattle Seahawks. I told y'all, Russ was going on a mission after throwing 3 interceptions against the Arizona Cardinals. Everybody got to get it now. And that's how Russ is playing. And he's getting DK Metcalf involved. I looked through, it was interesting, y'all. I looked through DK's completions, and I looked through his targets in games. It hadn't went over double digits. DK hadn't went crazy as far as Russ looking for him time and time again. He's getting him involved early. His last game had 12 catches. Tyler Lockett is also benefiting off of that. But right now, the level that Russell Wilson is on, the way they're operating at a premium offensively. Think about this. He threw 3 interceptions against the Arizona Cardinals, and they lost by 3 points. That's how crazy good this offensive unit is. So Russ against the Bills, like Mina just mentioned, secondary struggling. I love Trey White, LSU, DBU, that's my guy. But this is a different animal. And right now, I don't think anybody can defend Russ in this offense.
Hey, Ryan, let's keep with DBU and Jamal Adams. And when you think about this guy coming back into the fold for the Seahawks, I feel like when we saw him on the field for the beginning of the season for the Seahawks, he was out there so juiced. It was like if Ryan went back and played for a game, like how excited you would be to be out there. He was like all over the field. What can we expect out of him in this game, finally getting back out there after being out with an injury?
Hey, well, I'm going to tell you what. I might have that type of energy in here, but this old body can't do that no more. But when Jamal texted me this week, and he was like, hey, bro, I'm back, bro. He's like, God is good. And he's just excited to be back. But when you look at what he was able to do early on in the season, he was part of everything that they did. They used him in a way that we never quite saw a Seattle Seahawks secondary player used. He was part of the blitz. He was dropping down in coverage, also used on the back end. But I think he's most important in stopping Josh Allen, having somebody who can get to him after those scrambles, having someone low in the box when you get those quick screens or the different things they like to do to try to move the ball down the field when they aren't hitting the big play. And not to mention the energy. The energy that Jamal Adams brings to this team is totally different from anything we've seen since Cam Chancellor. And I think that is extremely important for them. For as important as Russ is on the other side, I believe that Jamal Adams makes this thing go defensively for him, and they truly need him in this game.
Yeah, ESPN's Football Power Index actually agrees with you guys. Go ahead.
The reason Jamal and Ryan see eye to eye and they get along when they get on the football field.
Yeah.
They both crazy.
Cray. All right,
It-
but
they
either
ain't
way,
all left. They just
It's on the
diving
football
all over
field
the
that
place.
Ryan's crazy.
I was about to say, I think he's crazy all the time.
Hey, I don't have it on Fridays on this show neither.
Listen, ESPN's Football Power Index agrees with you guys. They think the Seahawks are going to win by 55% chance over the Bills on the roads. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's get to Bears-Titans. And these couple teams having a couple losses in a row. After they got off to hot starts, Nick Foles continues to struggle for the Bears. Kind of feels like the same old, with the Bears offense not being on par with a Super Bowl caliber defense. And the Titans defense at times, though, has been suspect too. So, Ryan, when you think about this and the way that both these teams have struggled lately, who needs this win more? Is it Titans or Bears?
Oh, the Chicago Bears needed much more. I think the Titans know who they are. They know that their quarterback's Ryan Tannehill. They know that their team is run through Derrick Henry. They know that they got the right dude as the head coach. But when you look at the Chicago Bears, you go to Nick Foles because you believe that he's the answer, because you won't change your offense to make Mitchell Trubisky fit and to help Mitchell Trubisky succeed. And now it's not working. Nick Foles is not doing the thing to keep it efficient, to make the right completions, to throw the footballs on time. And so now you might have to walk your way back to Mitchell Trubisky. You thought the grass was greener on the other side. You was Pops, and you went across to Miss Parker because you liked when she was watering her bushes out in front of the house. But then you realize it ain't that great once you get into the house. So you might have to come back to your team and say, I made a mistake. I did the wrong thing. We have to go back to Mitchell. And when we go back to him, you may have to change. I believe a loss to the Titans sets this thing on a road that it cannot be on in Chicago. So they better win so Matt Nagy can feel right, so Nick Foles can feel right, so this team can feel right. Because if they lose again, something has to change. But is Matt Nagy man enough to walk back across the street?
Hey, Miss Parker. Hi, boys. Listen,
Hey,
this is about the Tennessee Titans.
Lord is my shepherd.
It's mostly important for the Tennessee Titans. And the reason why is think about what we thought about this team as the season started. We had Ryan Tannehill potentially being in the MVP conversation. We talked about the defense that this team was playing. Corey Davis had went out, and getting him back, we thought they would ascend the game that they gave the Steelers. All of these things that transpired with the psyche of the Tennessee Titans, even going through the COVID stuff and coming back and having a dominant performance and sending the Bills back to earth. Mike Vrabel has to get this thing right because this team legitimately had deep playoff run aspirations and potential of a Super Bowl. They were knocking on the door last year, giving a lead to the Kansas City Chiefs. They have to prove that they can do it.
All right, we'll be back with more, guys, and we're going to continue to talk about all these games in Week 9. We got a whole lot more to get to, and against another top